Violent clashes continue in Pakistan's eastern city of Lahore as security forces confronted thousands of demonstrators who were trying to march towards the capital city of Islamabad. The demonstrators, largely supporters of the Islamist group Therik-e-Labaik Pakistan or TLP, were attempting to stage a protest outside the US Embassy in the capital in support of Palestinians. Now, the TLP alleges that the Shehbaz Sharif government and Army Chief Asim Munir have surrendered to the US and Israeli interests by supporting a Gaza peace plan, calling it an embarrassment for the country. And now joining us from Islamabad is Adnan Qaiser, who is a political and defense analyst with a distinguished career in the armed forces, international diplomacy and geopolitical research. Thank you so much, Mr. Qaiser, for joining us on the broadcast.
Thank you very much for having me, and good afternoon to all your viewers.
Mr. Qaiser, you're joining us from Islamabad. What's the situation like on the ground right now? And the TLP claims that at least 11 of its supporters have been killed and over 50 have been injured since the clashes began. With schools and colleges shut and key routes blocked, how is the situation developing, especially in Lahore?
First of all, there is a media blackout here in Islamabad, so unfortunately we do not know exactly what is transpiring in the streets of Lahore as well as in Rawalpindi and Islamabad. So the problem is this, that first of all, we have to understand that what is happening and why is it all happening. So first of all, what is happening is that the TLP had vowed to carry out a protest in solidarity with the Gaza, with the Palestinian cause. And they had, in fact, they had denounced the ceasefire which had taken place and which had been upheld by the civilian government as well. So they started a protest from Lahore, and which had to be stopped. So we have to understand that this is a political blackmail through mob mobilization, and this is a rerun of events which we have been seeing since this Therik-e-Labaik had been formed in August 2015, and then we had seen in 2017 they had caused a massive civic unrest in Islamabad, and since then they had been disrupting the life through street protests and civic unrest for their political motives. So unfortunately, this organization or this party could not be contained politically as well as kinetically, although it has been banned by Pakistan on 15th of April 2021. When it had threatened the French ambassador in Islamabad when this cartoon issue had come up and something like that. So we have been seeing a repeated succession of events of political blackmail by this religious party, and which is very unfortunate. And unfortunately, neither the civilian government nor the military leadership has any plan to control it. And there is a background to it, because you see, since Pakistan's political fundamentals could not be strengthened, they're always faulty, and that's why military had to play a fundamental role in the politics of the country, and then to keep the political parties disarrayed. So the military had been appeasing and patronizing the religious lobby. And these political parties had been gaining strength over the years. We had seen in 1953 and 1974 Nizam-e-Mustafa movement, then Afghan Jihad during the 1980s, and then the war in Afghanistan. So these religious parties had always had a support of the military, and now they have become a Frankenstein's monster for the state of Pakistan, and no one has any control over them, and they are throwing Pakistan every day towards Islamic extremism and radicalization. And now we have seen that the KP terrorist attacks have spurred, and there is no way that they could be contained, only because there is a dichotomy or a divergence in the political views. The political government in KPK carries us an appeasing kind of a mindset towards the TTP or the Taliban. If you remember, the former Prime Minister Imran Khan had the epithet of Taliban Khan. At one stage, he was proposing to open a political office of TTP in Peshawar claiming them to be our brethren. But then the military carried out a military operation, but unfortunately it could not sustain it. There had been a military operation in Swat in 2009, which was very successful. We had a successful military operation in North Waziristan in 2015, very successful. But unfortunately, since it could not be sustained, this terrorism phenomena or terrorism menace keeps recurring, keeps coming back and haunt Pakistan and disturb the civic life of Pakistan. So there are two interconnected fundamentals.
Of course. Thank you so much, Mr. Qaiser, for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your perspective with us.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure.